So many things to click to do one simple thing. There we go.
That's okay. We can wait. Uh,
Good. Did it. Yeah, so I think that's the picture I'm going to use. Oh, shoot.
oh, it is gone already.
I meant to minimize the window and it unshared it. I guess I can't do that. Sorry. Technology's hard. There. Do it. Go. Yes. All right. Yeah,
Cool.
so that's the picture. I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to use that one to be on Path to Darkness or Building Victoria yet. It might be Building Victoria because I kind of want to see if I can do an image of Path in the Darkness. It's kind of stylized. It makes Sans look like she's in a starship cockpit in the Excelsior. So we shall see. But
It could just be Bob.
yeah, picture could just be Bob. I've
Bob
actually
freaking out or something. I know.
I've actually come up with because I've had to like I'm doing for anybody who got the updates from an email Kickstarter. I don't know, did you put the character sketches in the emails, the newsletter
I have
emails
been
as well?
putting the character sketches that you've been putting in the updates.
Cool.
Today I put Ernest, I think, because
Nice.
the last time I put Amanda, I think it was.
Yeah, I didn't have the picture of her though, but
Yeah, no hot tub covers there, Tim. That would have to be a variant cover, I think.
that'd be kind of awesome though. Well, I mean, except for the fact that it's a sex scene, but it's like one of the few
that
sex
would
scenes in
only work on
AM14.
Amazon or.
No. Well, it's a special edition sort of thing.
That's not what I thought Ernest looked like either, Chad. I was shocked.
Well, can kind of like look how he wants. So this is Williams, I think. I've got a couple of choices I can go with. Kind of hard bitten, a little bit older, more creased than he should be. You guys are getting the sneak peek on all of this. This is like was trying to get a cool picture of young Jessica. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. And this, I was looking for one to do one with Perez, and I just can't get a Perez that I like. This is Patty, who's one of the people who works in the security center. And what else do I have that's kind of cool and handy? Let's see. Man, it won't let me just scroll through other ones. It thinks this is all there is. It's not all there is. There we are. That's Uri.
Who is the guy with the big neck?
This could be one of the Marines.
I was thinking cargo, but that's the wrong era.
Yeah. I have to Photoshop this guy's neck too because it's kind of weird.
It is a little strange.
Yeah,
he's been pumping the steroids.
Punched the nose a couple of times too. So, oh shoot, I forget who this is. Names are so hard at 7:00 on a Friday. This is Trist's friend, Jessie, I think is her name, and that's Amanda, and that's Ernest. Folks saw. I figured, you know what? Let's make Ernest look a little bit more serious than people think he is sometimes. And like. Also, it's the future. He could like dye his hair all sorts of different colors. He can have his hair a different color every day. He doesn't have to stick with anything like that if he doesn't want to. And then this one's gonna knock you. This is Terrence. So it's probably not what anyone pictured Terrence to look like either. But I actually went through. So these are all AI generated. These particular ones, and I went through probably, I don't know, several hundred pictures trying to get ones I thought looked like the characters. And I'm actually the AI generated art is kind of weird, so it's not like these are like definitive pictures, but I think they actually captures them pretty well. And I like the idea of Terrence having blue hair, because it's always the girls who end up with really wild and weird looks, and the guys always look really uniform. So I'm like, you know what? Some of the guys can be kind of wild and crazy too. But everybody's a young person, Chad. No one's old.
No, the only person. He was growing old in a vat.
The only person who's old is who looks old. Man, where's the picture? I must have failed to download it.
Is it Andrews?
Captain Andrews is the only person who actually looks old. Shoot, I made the perfect picture of Captain Andrews too, and now it's gone.
That's true. He could choose to be old at any time,
but he doesn't. One more.
Trist's friend is named Jesse.
Jesse, I had it right. All right.
You did say that, didn't you?
I did say Jesse. And this is Trist.
That's
Ta-da.
pretty cool. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. This is pre Green Goo Trist. Before her little incident. And oh, here it is. Here's Andrews.
That is a
You
nice
know,
one.
old Captain
His
Andrews.
eyes look a little funny, but it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, I have to go through and Photoshop some elements of all of these AI generated images, so I still have to go through and do that on them. If I make them big, if they're small, it's fine. No one
Yeah.
can really notice.
Yeah, he looks very distinguished.
He does, doesn't he? It's pretty cool. So it was fun to make a lot of these images and sort of visualize the characters. Oh, there's one last one that I have to show because I love it so much, and then I'll stop bombarding all of you guys with.
No, it's okay. I'm sure the fans love it.
It is kind of neat to see how you can visualize them. The cool thing about these people too is like they might not have stayed like looking like this their entire lives. You know, I mean, we know, for example, this next character, she absolutely didn't stay looking one particular way her entire life, because this would be this is Katrina, you know, and she changed drastically multiple times. So
I love that hair.
I know, right? I want that hair.
You could take that and then write a story about old Rapunzel based on that hair.
Actually, young Terrence is actually on a book cover. Let me pull it up.
Old who? I missed that.
Young Terrence is on a book cover.
Okay.
Where is it? Enfield Genesis. Which Enfield Genesis is it? Is it Epsilon Eridani or Tau Ceti? Epsilon Eridani is Jason.
Excuse me.
Here it is. You guys are getting all the deeds. Has to download. Oh, you're in both places, Heather. Now we can see your name.
Yeah, your name. You were no longer just Facebook user.
Oh, and hey, Ray, as well. And Tim. I don't know if I said hi to you, Tim, but of course, hi, Tim. All right. Share.
Tim just started talking about the hot tub right away. So, it was quite the reaction. Ugh.
There we are. This is not like the best picture, but this is actually Terrence. Terrence Enfield. It is in his younger years. But now you have it. And shoot, I can't remember his wife's name. Keela?
Hi, Cytheros.
Man, something like that. His wife's name's something like Keela. And actually, there's a story that that Lisa and I want to write, because Keela is still alive at the time of the building of the Intrepid, but she's not with Terrence anymore. And the question, of course, is why is that? And for the astute readers who read the whole Solta solution, she is on the Normandy when it leaves, or the other ship whose name I suddenly can't remember. So she and Terrence are bound for a reunion, which will be pretty exciting.
Oh.
And hey, Seth Rose. I guess I could be clicking on things so people can see them, but that's like work.
That is work, especially for 7/12.
I know, right? In the evening. Yeah, so I'm pretty stoked about the fact that we're gonna. So those are all pictures I made with Midjourney, the AI software. I just think they're cool ways to visualize stuff, and then also just for that's our daughter.
Sorry, she sounded like a monkey there for a second.
She did, but they're cool ways to visualize the characters and kind of get some views, especially for new people who are showing up on the Kickstarter page. But the 3 character sketches that we're going to get are they're going to be like detailed art, like drawn by an artist to my direction and whatnot. So we'll get some cool things. And it's actually going to be, one's going to be Tanis, obviously, and I don't know who the next 2 are going to be, to be honest. I haven't decided who the other characters are going to be who gets sketches done for them. So that might, I might do a poll on that or something like that. Like, who should we do?
Oh, you should do a poll.
Yeah.
On Kickstarter, maybe.
And then we have 2 more goals, stretch goals that I want to try and hit.
What are they?
What are they indeed? My document is closed. No. There we are. There's my document. That's my stretch goals. So the 15, actually, I did mention this too in the email yesterday, an update yesterday, the $15,000 goal, which we're going to hit, right? Like we're at 12 and a half already. It's an additional art. Oh yeah. It's an additional art option for the Intrepid Saga cover. And some of you will actually have already seen Smalls, but she doesn't get an Outsystem cover, Heather. She probably will get her own cover on the next Heather's Marauders book, to be honest. So
I think there really needs to be another Heather Marauders book for sure,
I really enjoyed writing Heather's Marauders.
or
So
novella, whatever you want to call it.
yeah, there'll definitely be more Heather's Marauders. But yeah, so people who were in the Discord server would have seen this, but I'm just going to go back and grab it so I can show the rest of you. Here we are. Save image. I have so many things just all over the place right now. I'm not super organized with everything.
That's okay. I mean, I think who needs his own cover? One of these days, Mr. Fizzlepop needs like a cover of his own.
No one's going to argue with that, right?
Right? Where he's wielding 2 pistols. He's like, war veteran now. He's like full of himself.
Tim, if the van ends up on a cover, it's going to be the van and Heather smacking the van upside the head.
Maybe every fan should get their own cover at this point.
I mean, if they want to pay the money, we could totally do that. But
that would be quite the bookshelf keepsake item, wouldn't it? Though your own.
Yeah. Cover? I mean, to be honest, just to let you guys know, like it would be about $400 to get a custom cover with a given person on it. So just throwing that out there. For 400, well, because I'll probably make it so there's all the same background and then there's just different characters on there. So that would be why it's about 400. A whole custom cover can be like $800 to $1,000. But anyway, when I talked to Phil's the artist who did the new Intrepid Saga art. And I gave him some images to work off. He gave me these 3 cover comps. And to be honest, I really like the one on the left as well as the one on the right. There you go, Heather. Make it happen. I like having you as a character in the series too. But anyway, I really strongly considered picking the left one as the cover for the Intrepid Saga. But when we hit 15K, then we get the money. I get to get that art done as well. So that's going to be really awesome. That's sort of how
the right one is still my favorite, but I know it's not always up to me. It's fine.
Well, I mean, it'll still be there, so
yes,
we'll have all the options.
I can buy whichever one I want.
And I want to show you guys something pretty wild, actually, because one of the things that happens, like when we get art done for,
excuse me.
There we go. Just saving that so I can pop it up. When we get art done for books, is we get like the full wrap, right? So we have the front page, and then we have the wrap that wraps around to the back of the book. So, the main focus of the image is always on the right side. So if you get it made into a wallpaper, it's really heavily focused on the right side with usually nothing too terribly exciting on the left side. But Phil had this idea, which I thought was amazing, to take, and this is a really rough comp, and it's actually not what we're going with, but just so you guys can sort of get an idea and see it. But the idea was to actually stretch the image in both directions. So rather than having just like a wrap where, you'd have the Intrepid here at the center and then you'd have the rest of the image going over there. Like if you want to get a poster or something, we're actually going to do a full width, like it's actually probably like a 9x20 or a 20x9 ratio image. And it's not going to have like one of the rail guns on the right. It's going to just have some more ships because otherwise it sort of changed the focus of the image too much. But I'm really excited to have this because this is going to be one of the posters
really cool, yeah.
that's going to be available to get. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. This one, come on. No, I'm clicking on the screen share, not the actual window. So when I pick this left side image, we'll actually make it wider as well. So you'll get the right side of the image and the left side of the image in the full poster. The Intrepid does have a pretty sexy ass. Unfortunately, no, Allison won't be narrating any more stories. She's not doing that anymore. So we'll have that. A box of the original 3 books slide into can be personalized. That's not a bad idea. Personalize your
I think though the thing is that the boxes, to order the box, old-fashioned box set, that you need a minimum. It's usually like 250 or 500 of them. So yeah, they're not really cheap to get our hands on. And if we didn't sell them, then obviously we'd be stuck with a couple hundred boxes.
Yeah. That would be a lot. That'd be a whole thing. But
we'll keep looking though. We'll keep looking for vendors.
Yeah. The other cool thing, though, that on top of just art, there are. I know because I know you guys are like, this is great, Mal. These are pictures, but where's the damn stories? Yeah, I'm sorry, Dan. It does, but I mean, I like Laura as well. I think Laura does really good narration. She's also 1/3 the price, which doesn't hurt as well. Anyway, Jill's giving me this look like, Mal, don't talk about things like that. But yeah, so there's like, what's going on with stories, and I think that's pretty cool too. So actually, it's like what it's all about. It's not the art, it's the stories. But I think the art kind of fills it in. Um, Actually, I'm about to segue here. I'm going to get back to the stories I'm going to talk about. The thing I think is really cool about when you write books and whatnot is that you're actually like imagining people and you're creating a universe inside your head and you're writing it down. And then you're actually then creating that universe inside of other people's heads. And apparently, when you read books, the information that you're reading actually goes directly into your long-term memory, the exact same way that you process actual things that happen to you. So you actually have a long-term memory of the events in the book as if it really happened to you, which I think is like one of the coolest things ever. But anyway, does Eva have like her iPad going or something?
It is. Can you hear it?
I can hear the sound from her iPad.
Can you lower that a little bit?
I'm like, is someone on the phone? What's going on? But then, like, it's just us. Anyway, so yeah, there's a cool little chapter at the end of Outsystem that I added in because there's a couple of characters that Tanis knows in the Soul System, and I didn't know them back when I first wrote Outsystem, but I do now. So Tanis got to have like a little visit with them. You're in Discord and don't see anything? I'm not sure what you mean by that.
On here, I think there's only Facebook and YouTube, so you're not missing anything.
Yeah, you're not missing anything. It's just Facebook and YouTube. Sorry,
yeah.
I didn't understand. I read the questions in reverse. But then there's also another story that takes place, and it's actually going to be in the beginning of Building Victoria. And one of the things I've done that some people have given me a hard time for, not everybody, but some, is that I skip over all the weddings in Aeon 14. Like I never actually have the weddings happen. It's just like, hey, these people are married now. Oh, these people aren't married now. That sort of thing. So I'm actually going to have Tanis and Joe's wedding in this story. And then, if you remember from Building Victoria, they got married all by themselves. There was no one else there, but there actually were other people there. So this story is going to tell the tale of how they got married, who married them, and who was actually there when it happened. And it's not who you think it would be.
And how everything went according to plan perfectly, right?
Oh God, it's like this. Well, actually, they encounter a strange spaceship while they're in the interstellar void. So this is like back before they even get to Victoria. They actually encounter a strange spaceship in space, of all places.
And I'm wondering what Tanis wore for a wedding. Like what,
I think she's wearing armor. She probably could be wearing her
armor.
Is it
white armor?
White armor, yeah. Oh, Abby died. Or nobody. That's why they're not married anymore.
When did that happen?
She died in the Battle of New Canaan.
Oh.
I think it was obliquely mentioned like
that.
At one point in a story, like someone just sort of referenced her being gone or something like that.
Oh.
But so yeah, sorry, Abby died. I killed off a lot of characters actually, and in a way that you didn't like. A lot of them just sort of didn't show up again after the Battle of New Canaan. Wasn't it? I thought in the book with Terrence and Ernest when they go off to the intergalactic bridge between the Magellan Clouds, I thought it came up during that one. I'll have to double check. Sometimes
Tim remembers. If Tim doesn't remember, then it didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, sometimes certain things there are things that end up on the cutting room floor, and I wrote them, but they just never actually showed up in a book. So that can happen. There's not that much of that though. Most everything I write ends up in the books.
Now we all must wear black.
She was kind of terrible. Oh, was she in that meeting? No, I'm not sure what happened.
Remember.
If she was in that meeting, then she didn't die in the Battle of New Canaan. Damn it. Tim, we need Tim. Where'd Tim go? Why isn't Tim here to answer all these hard questions? Yes, that is true. Yeah, Abby never did get over things between her and Tanis, and since Ernest was like, buddy with Tanis, she had trouble with him too. But now I have to go read all my books. Look what you've done. Actually, I do plan on next year. I'm going to do a full read through of the Orion War series, because there's actually lots and lots of like little threads that I left open for other stories to tell. And I remember a lot of them, but I mean, some of the stuff I wrote like, 4 or 5 years ago at this point, so I don't remember them all. And I actually want to go through and like decide which of these side stories and these like little, like maybe like fill in bits I might want to write. Like one of them was actually sort of got set up and never fully wrapped up, was the one that was in the fan book. The fan, shoot, I can't remember what it's called now. So it was the fan anthology. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, this is what happens when you have COVID 3 times. Memory gets foggy.
You've always been this way.
Oh, thanks. Put me on the bus here. I love it. Anyway, but that whole story actually, because there's a whole thing that happened in that region of space with this rather large conflict that went on, and Jessica, Tanis, and Sarah actually went there and were involved in it. I think they basically were trying to stop a rogue asteroid that was being shot through a nebulous cloud from smashing into a planet, and as one does. So would have been the first K2 civilization. If I remember correctly, K1 is using all the energy that reaches your planet from your star. K2 is using all of the energy from your star. K3 is using all of the energy from the galaxy. Well, then she didn't die in the Battle of New Canaan. For some reason, I thought I killed her off there. Or maybe she just
You have new ways to kill her now, new opportunities to bring her back just to kill her.
There you go. I'm gonna bring Abby back just to kill her.
They could reconcile, and then oops, she's dead.
Yeah, there you go. That's the story Jill would write. You guys are lucky that Jill doesn't write a lot more of the main plot lines in Aeon 14, because she loves internal character strife.
But I don't really want to kill any of my characters.
Oh, thank you, Heather. Repercussions, yes, of course. But Jill doesn't kill her own character. She's happy to talk about
kill other people's characters.
But yeah, so this our plan right now, by the way, for additional releases is, and we don't have a date for when it'll come out, but the next Perilous Alliance series, the first book in that is written. Jill's got
Perilous Vacation.
Are we actually going to call it Perilous Vacation? I don't know if that's a terribly marketable name.
I don't know. I thought the series name could be something. The first book could be Perilous Vacation, because it is. It's a vacation.
It's perilous. We'll have to think about that, because you got to have the tropes and the marketing and all that jazz, honey.
I like the title.
She's become very attached to this title. Look at those eyebrows.
I haven't been calling it Perilous Vacation for like 6 months.
But yeah, I got to start reading it next month after Dragon Con, because Jen will be editing it in October.
Yeah,
so it's
ready.
Like right around the corner.
I'm ready to write book 2. I don't even know how it's going to start.
Perilous Getaway? The problem is that the Vacation and Getaway, people aren't going to be like, oh, I want to read like a riveting sci-fi book. Neither of those words are really going to capture people to think about like an action-filled adventure or something like that.
Well, a lot of it takes place, I don't know if I can say, in New Canaan, so we could throw Carthage in the title or something. Maybe.
We'll figure it out. The peril is much too perilous.
Roads. I want Grayson in a Hawaiian shirt on the cover.
Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads.
We don't need roads. Yeah.
If Grayson's in a Hawaiian shirt on the cover, Yusuf's going to be in a Speedo on the cover, just so you know. You got to watch out for that.
He is in the book. Well, never mind. I guess I shouldn't drop too many spoilers.
Oh, they can know that Yusuf's in the book.
Yeah. I know. A lot of people won't watch this, so they just miss out. And Mr. Fizzlepop is heavily featured in the book.
Yeah. But the real question
he has
here,
more animal friends now.
The real question, though, is Yusuf going to be in a Speedo in the book? I mean, that's what we got to know.
Yes, almost all the time.
I love it. Almost all the time.
Except towards the end when he's like takes a more official role.
National Roads Perilous Vacation.
It's a lot of fun.
That's actually kind of funny.
A good half of the book is just a pizza heist. That's all it is. With complications.
Of course, complications.
Big complications.
Doesn't Tanis have to get involved to like bail them out?
I'm not going to say right now how involved Tanis is.
I actually don't know exactly how involved Tanis is. Jill and I talked about Tanis being involved. I don't know if she actually know what she did with Tanis.
The threat of Tanis hangs over heavily through a lot of the book because Rogers and a few of the others are scared of Tannis.
As they should be.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Tim. He's like the encyclopedia of AN14. He's got the quote for us here.
Why isn't Tim just the series Bible?
He is the series Bible.
Yeah, it's not a document. It's just Tim. You can just keep Tim in a vault.
Keep Tim in a vault. Oh, that's awesome.
Anyway, this is about the Kickstarter, I guess.
Yeah, but it's kind of fun just to yap about all the
it is
fun
fun
book
to
stuff.
yap. We have not got to yap in a long time.
Yeah, the stories that we've all got to enjoy together. I've really been getting jazzed again for getting back into Galactic Front and Sagittarius Breach, even though it is like the hardest thing I've ever written in my entire life. Part of what happened is as I was writing those books, you know, which are like, I don't know, like 122 and 123 for the books I've written, I just realized didn't think I could write like another shootout in a corridor. It's just like, I've written this scene 100 times. How am I going to make this one unique? And I hit the bottom of the well, and I was just like, man, I can't think of how to describe this sort of thing again. So I actually started reading other things and consuming other media, and now I have.
I actually made your corridor thing kind of a joke in Perilous Vacation.
Did you really?
I did, because at this point, Kylie and Grayson and all of them are basically Orion War veterans. And Kylie's like, if I never see another corridor for the rest of my life, and so there's a couple of jokes about, corridor fights, how Yusef loves them. Kylie's like, that's because you're like a bureaucrat or whatever.
Oh, I love that. I'm not the only one. The only one who never wants to see another corridor fights.
Maybe.
Yeah, so I got to think how do I make this new? How do I make this exciting? What's a different way of telling the story from what I've done before?
So it was great to do it while they're on vacation, because there's all these locations that they never would be in, and it's basically a gunfight or a chase or whatever, just on the beach or in a different situation, and they make jokes about it the whole time.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yusuf? That's not how you spell it. It's USEF, but yeah. Oh, okay. You spelled it wrong. Yeah. But yeah, so it's going to be Galactic Front and Sagittarius Breach are going to be amazing, and the next Vigilante. Yeah, they'll all be amazing. Yeah, obviously. I mean, Perilous Vacation is going to be awesome. And the next Vigilante book is like percolating in my brain still, so that'll happen. And
Rika? Well, Rika is going to get more books, right?
Rika will get more books after the Ascension War books are done.
Oh. I thought you said you thought of stories that would have occurred before that, so...
Yeah, but I have to maintain some level of focus here.
I suppose.
I don't know, that could be, I guess, what Yusuf looks like. I guess it's possible. I'll have to think about that.
I never had a clear vision of what Yusuf looked like before, so...
Yusuf is actually only randomly mentioned one time or maybe two times in Building Victoria, when the Marines come down to scour the city for Mirrodin and to stop the rebels from overthrowing landfall on Victoria. Yusuf's one of the lieutenants commanding a platoon, but he's not the platoon that Jessica's with, so he's only just mentioned a couple of times. So he's mentioned a little bit more now because Branch pulls him out of stasis in the new wedding story I'm writing. So that's a thing there too. And more Heather.
I remember Yusuf being sort of comic relief in someone's story. Maybe it was Jenny.
It was Jenny's story. Yusuf was comic.
So that's really my only impression of him. So that's basically what I ran with. No.
He's like a very serious man when he's in the uniform, and when he's not, he's like an entirely different person.
Yeah, so. That's what I went with that when you gave me the couple tips.
That was all Jenny's idea too. Yeah, I really liked it as well. It was fun.
And yes, more Heather's Marauders, which I brought that up a month ago to Matt.
Yeah, Jill did actually. Did you read the book?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I read the reviews though, and everyone seemed really jazzed up.
Oh, okay.
The fans seemed like they want it.
I didn't think you read that book. Yeah, I mean, Heather's Marauders is a way to get more ground pounding mech combat without having to have Rika in there, because it gets tricky when you get Rika, because Rika's ascending, and she's becoming Uber, and it gets like after a while you're like, well, I basically have like Superman, and then a bunch of like, I don't know, like I'm trying to, they're not like regular ground troops, but you know what I mean, like right, like actually it's more like I have a bunch of like first generation Iron Men and God. That's what it is like when you get like someone who's ascended with the regular troops. So it's just like, yeah, they're like, yeah, they go and save the day, and everybody else just like has a burrito or something, like whatever. The squishies, yeah.
It's good to write stories that are not complicated.
Yes, that is also a nice part.
That is basically what it is.
Everyone's a squishy for Rika. I'd forgotten that term, the squishies. I need to reread the Rika books now, apparently.
What is squishy? Just a regular like human that's not a mech?
Yeah, that's what they call
that's
regular
gonna die, basically.
Yeah, well, they're very squishy, compared to the mechs.
I very squishy. Okay, squish.
There is actually a couple of stories that places when when Rika's Marauders were going through Genevia. There's actually a couple of places I would love to stop and go back to, and that's part of what I'm doing with Vigilante, right? Like that's actually one of the main settings in the Rika's Marauders books, and Vigilante is taking place there, which is pretty cool. And I want to make the Vigilante stories simple too, which I think they roughly are. They're hard to write though because they're all one POV, and normally you don't
tend to be shorter. I think.
Yeah, there was 70K and it was one POV. So human in a meat suit. That's right. We're actually like octopuses piloting bone mechs is what we are.
Oh.
Meat and bone mechs. I always thought it's octopuses with an exoskeleton piloting a meat mech. I think that's what the definition would be. But this has been fun, just sort of sitting and chatting with all of you folks. I like it.
Yeah, we should do it more often.
Do we have any other updates? I feel like I'm missing something that I should really be saying for the Kickstarter, but
did you mention how people can name a character or a ship?
Yep. Although half of the people here have already done that, but they could do it again.
True. They could do it again, and they don't have to name it after themselves. They could just make something up.
We could name yet another character after Chad.
I did that.
I named a planet after Chad.
Yeah, I named a person after Chad in Perilous Vacation.
Actually, no, it was the Burrow system is what it was, and it was Chad was upset.
I use the name Chad all the time. I just go around naming characters Chad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Actually, the higher tiers will get it too. Nobody, but
yeah.
I did. I don't know who you actually are. Nobody. So I don't know what system I named after.
Chad.
No, Chad was Chad, isn't he? Or is nobody Chad? Now I'm confused. Chad was on Facebook, and then we got nobody. Maybe Chad is nobody.
Chad was on Facebook and YouTube.
Oh my God, Chad is nobody. Now everything makes sense. Now I know why nobody's this snarky, sassy person.
Because it's Chad.
It's Chad. Which you got upset because the Burrow system was a backwater. Sometimes they have to be backwaters. Not everything can be a capital, Complicated.
It just means that we love you, Chad.
Totally. Absolutely. We did get, by the way, some really wild things. Like you guys noticed that there's in the Kickstarter there was the option to get, pardon me, the entire Intrepid saga and the Orion War, and multiple people have actually bought that in ebook form. And there's also the option to get like all of the Aeon 14 books. And last time I checked, at least one person actually had bought like every Aeon 14 book. Oh my God, you were attacked by a spaceship.
Stormfly just leaped across everything.
You go for a personal custom cover. I'll have to keep that in mind if we ever end up doing that. Would you like?
You should add it as a tier. Get a custom cover.
Hey, Stormfly. Just so you know, Mr. Fizzlepop is based somewhat on Stormfly.
Actually, Mr. Fizzlepop is based on Spike, who was way before Stormfly.
Well, yeah, a little bit, yeah. Oh my God. She's like, what are you doing?
Look how mad she is.
She hates being held. She's like, I'm going to kill you in your sleep. You
she would kill me tonight. She would shred my arm without thinking about it.
Yeah, maybe should I make that a tier in the Kickstarter to get like a cover with yourself on it? Would that be something people?
Why not? I mean, it would have to cost more than $400 or $500 because that would just cover the cost. But
well, it'd be like in addition to like the other
costs
of the tier.
Could be an add-on, maybe.
Yeah. I have to see how I have to think about how we do that, like whether it be hand drawn, if it'd be like a photograph, I'd have to get people who could take like really high quality pictures of themselves.
Or it
It's
could
sort
just
of
be
tricky.
like, I don't know, manipulated art doesn't necessarily have to be the person. It could be
Yeah,
based on their character or
yeah, that's true. I guess we could kind of
their
feel it
pet.
out. Nope, cat doesn't care about what the humans are doing at all. Cat has cat's goals. All right, well, we should probably wrap up. I'm out of things to talk about.
Yeah, me too. I'm sleepy now. I gotta lay on the sofa for a while, I think.
We had a day on the beach, so that always like saps a little bit out. Well, but we could create a Chad character, you know.
We could create a character using maybe the AI art generator. Or...
Maybe I would want someone to actually draw it. Like maybe I'd have Phil actually do a sketch or something like that. Phil's really good at that sort of thing. It's still daylight. Oh no, I
Oh,
didn't, Tim. I must have missed that.
you
Digital
better
version
scroll up. Ugh.
Well, what my plan is, and actually, I'm going to be making an announcement about this soon, is that everybody tier everybody tier 2 and up will get a bunch of digital artwork as well. So they'll get like desktops, like digital versions of the widescreen art with the Intrepid Saga. They'll get digital versions of the covers, the 3 Outsystem covers, plus the 2 new covers, and they'll. I have to. Some of these things might be like add-ons for like $5 or $10 for some of them to help like sort of just fund getting this much stuff done. But there'll be like some of the other art too will be available as digital posters too. I know for sure the coloring book pages, which are basically be line art images, those will be available digitally, and everybody will get those digitally on every tier. And then if you wanted signed ones, and I would get them printed nicely and get them signed. So I am going to like lay all that out. It's actually one of my tasks for this weekend is to really spell out a lot of these add-ons and how they'll work and the additional bonus things. Now that we have all the stretch goals to get all the new art, so that'll be a whole thing. But basically, yes, you'll have the opportunity to get in digital format every single piece of art that's being created in the Kickstarter. Just some of them might have like a
Have you
small price.
mentioned that in an update?
Yeah, I will. I just want to get the graphic. I'm doing new graphics for all the tiers and everything because I saw some Kickstarters that had way fancier graphics and I liked them. So now I got jealous.
You got jelly.
I did get jelly. Like actually, I should show you guys what they look like because.
Heather, what books were all canceled by Amazon? I think it was just Galactic Front because we didn't meet the pre-order date.
And Vigilante too.
Mm.
So this may not be exciting to anybody. I like playing in Photoshop. It's sort of like one of those things that like helps my creative juices. But yeah, so making nice little better. I'm making cleaner visual representations of all the different tiers and what they're going to get. So I'm working on touching all that up right now. But that gives you an idea. So you'll get to it'll have these and it'll have like more detailed lists of all the art below as well that you'll get and stuff like that. So people will actually get to see a cleaner view of it all rather than just a big thing because you can't really format very well in Kickstarter. You have almost no formatting options. So I realized I've just got to make everything graphics to format it nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be Vigilante 2, Galactic Front, the next Lissa book, which is called Shattered Soul, is what that one's titled. And I think that's it. I think those are the only ones that we got canceled.
Can we add all the ebooks to a pledge for the hardcovers?
I guess I could make an add-on for all the ebooks. So you mean like every single ebook, like the $397 all the ebooks option? I'm not sure if that's what you mean. That's okay, Tim. I understand. You know, everybody's at different points, but yeah, there'll be a bunch of the art that'll be available like very cheap and whatnot. And for you, Tim, you know, I could about hook you up. Mm-hmm. It's Tim, you know, it's the Tim.
Tim, he's
broke as a convict. Well, you know, Heather, one of the things too is that you could always like pledge at like $1, and after the Kickstarter is over, there'll be an option to like a la carte things that you might want, you know, because you basically be able to, even after the Kickstarter is over, probably about like a couple weeks later, we'll send out a survey saying like, hey, here's what you got. Did you want to add anything else? And if you did the $1 pledge, it'll be pretty much anything you want you could add to it. And you'll have like a month or month and a half to actually fill out the survey before we actually order all the goods and everything like that. So you might have some time to still get in on some stuff.
Any updates on the next Lissa book? I know James is working on it. His daughter broke her arm, and she's only 2, so I think things might be a little complicated right now.
Yeah, he found that writing, he found actually harder to actually write when he was writing full time than it was to write when he had a job, just like life balance stuff like that. So he ended up getting a job again back at the University of Oregon, I think. And it was supposed to be a really simple job, and then the job became ridiculously complex because they decided to change the locks on every single door on campus, which is, I think, consuming his life. And then his daughter broke his arm. But we did plot out in detail Shattered Soul. So we have he has his marching orders, and to my knowledge, he's been working on it. I'd like to get it out this year. That will depend on him as much as anything else. But he really wants to get back at it because he and I have like roughly plotted out the first and second Solar War. So that's kind of a thing. Like there's 9 more books to write in there, so we gotta get cracking.
Yeah, you gotta get cracking on that.
That's awesome, though, Heather. Congratulations. Are you still up in Alaska, or did you have to come down to the lower 48? I know you would prefer to be in Alaska if memory serves. Yeah. A lot of life happened. James had some other things go on in his life that sort of threw him for a loop as well. But yeah. Well, I do believe that Eva would love to play Halo with me tonight, so we should probably wrap up.
I don't think she heard you, but I'll.
Oh, didn't she? Okay. Yeah.
Halo, Eva? Huh? Halo? Yeah. Let's
Halo.
do it.
Yeah, even I co-op Halo, all the Halo games on Legendary, and we're waiting not so patiently for Halo 6 to come out so we can co-op that too, because it's not out yet in co-op. It's been out for since before Christmas, Halo Infinite, but the co-op's not there, and it's like driving us nuts. Well, that's good, Heather. Nice. That's awesome. Back to Alaska. All right. Well, this has been a slice. It's been so cool talking with you guys as well.
We'll do it again soon.
And I'll make a note to add the thing so that you can put all the ebooks, all the ebook option can be added to as an add-on that you can tack onto anything. So you can do that. So you'll be able to pledge for the hardcovers, and then it'll ask what add-ons you want, and that will be an option with all the add-ons. So yeah, you'll get that.
Yeah, I'll send out a newsletter too once that's all set. So people
we'll do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's not good, Chad. That's the thing. And if you really do want like a custom cover with yourself on it, anybody, you can drop us an email or reach out on Facebook or something like that, and we can actually talk about making that happen, because I would not be against doing that. I think that'd be really cool. So totally a thing. Yes, we should be playing video games. I agree, Chad. That has to happen. But love chatting with you guys, and we'll be doing this again a couple more times during the Kickstarter. So we'll probably see you next week.
Week or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Bye.
Bye.